Alright, let's see where some of the prices are at. Bananas, going for 8 gold. So the crazy thing is, when I sold like my first batch after finding a couple of banana trees early on, they were selling for like 25. 8 is not bad though, because if you go to Cutlass Keys, there's just bananas everywhere. I think a lot of people realized this as they were running to the fort for PvP experience, like, wait a second, that's a banana tree. What happens if I chop it down? Oh, that's a banana. People in Global are still asking, like, how do you get bananas? I might be onto something. And then you could just, like, sell it for a few hundred gold really quick, depending on the time. Now, some areas are a lot better than others for banana trees. So right outside the fort, you can find a lot of banana trees grouped up. And where I'm at right here, and as you can see, someone else has been farming this and crashing the banana economy. But you can just see, like, all the stumps. So a lot of bananas in this area, and it's really easy to, like, put together some routes and get crazy amounts of bananas. Now, I'm not sure if logging luck affects your chance of getting bananas, but it can't hurt. So, like, put on your full logging gear and then get to it. Also, proficiency booster, since if you're harvesting a lot of bananas, it will lead to a bit of profit, flag for PvP, and then anything else to increase your yield. I feel like if you're sweating it, if you've scouted the island and you have a really good spot to farm banana trees, you could probably get 1,000 bananas per hour. So even now, that's still going to be 7-8k depending on how bananas are selling, because banana bread will always be in demand. Also, you get a lot of green wood, so if you've seen Reddit posts for, like, easy money making, it just says, yo, farm green wood and get a few thousand coin per hour. Well, this is going to work, and then if you're planning on doing that, just go for banana trees, and you can still make, you know, up to 10k an hour, even a few days after the expansion, which is pretty good compared to, like, the crazy numbers we were seeing on launch. Alright, let's see how Darkhide is holding up, because I've seen some crazy price fluctuations, especially now that we're, like, getting into the weekend, the game's getting patched, it's a bit more stable, player count is seemingly close to max at all hours, so a lot of resources are being consumed. I've seen it go as low as, like, 70 cents per hide, but now it's 120, and this is at 2 in the morning, or, like, 5 in the morning Eastern time. So the price has stabilized a little bit. It depends on, like, the buy walls and stuff, but you can still sell it for 120 reasonably, maybe a bit more. Maybe the weekend's going to spike some demand again. You can get it up as high as 130, but you can get 10,000 Darkhide an hour by just, like, hyper farming. It's also going to get easier as everyone starts upgrading their gear. I'm actually playing super inefficiently right now because I haven't gotten a void damage ring, so that's 5% void damage right there. If I get leeching void damage, we're just kind of stacked. So people are getting their artifacts in, they're getting their slow gear upgrades, and then they just, like, do the stack. Beast Ward, Beast Bane, luck because maybe you get a cool gear drop, and then whatever honing stone as well as the proficiency booster, and yeah, you can get thousands of Darkhide in a very short amount of time, and that's still worth thousands of coin. And the farming only gets easier as gear gets better, and people are still weird about it. Like, they'll help you clear out a lot of the enemies there and then just not harvest it. And if you get, like, slash protection for the lions in the cave, like I showed in my other videos, it's still really good. Right, if you're here for a money-making guide, you might not know the area I'm talking about. So you go to the south of the Elysian Wilds, you go to Highmound's Rest, and then this whole area is elite. You can run through here, find the mammoths, and then you make it into the cave. And then down through here is where you can find a lot of lions. People are usually farming the named bosses around here as well, so that might help. You might get a cool drop. I kind of do a scummy thing. I X up for the group invite, and then I just, like, kill all the lions, and I stay within the loot range. I just come in and, like, grab my legendary loot every 6 minutes when the enemy spawns. So a lot of people have been farming corruption breaches to get the Abyss. When I got mine, it was a part of a world tour that was only doing major corruption breaches. Also, like, keep an eye if someone's saying, like, oh, during Murkguard portals, because those drop some really good loot. The thing is, I've been seeing, like, mixed information about it. Some people are saying that the Abyss drops from the smaller portals. I've been seeing a lot of the smaller portals getting cleared out now. But if you can, like, find a portal and you're at the gear score and the point where you can just farm it solo, the caches actually give some really good loot. Or maybe you find a portal running group that's running all of the portals. We were skipping the small ones. Like, no one was even running off and, like, one-shotting an infested grove. It was only major breaches. Now, unfortunately, so many people farming the Abyss has made the corrupted shards and slivers not really worth as much, but the gear you can get from even the minor caches is crazy. I got a great sword that was 690, enchanted, refreshing move, keen awareness, and I sold it for 20k. Also, in my video getting the Abyss, I got some like really cracked gloves. I sold those for 25k. And you get like a legendary high gear score loot that isn't bound to you. It can actually be pretty profitable. I'm just personally worried about the price of armor and weapons because a lot of people are farming named elite enemies that can drop up to 700 gear score. So if they just like bind a Abyss to themselves, then they don't need to buy it anymore. So demand is going to go down a lot. The developer said they want everyone to get better equipment for themselves sooner and have like a very achievable Abyss. So the reason why I sold what looks like insane gear super cheap for like 20k or something is because I don't want 3 other people finding those on a world tour in the hour and then dumping it on the market, and then now I just didn't make any money. But if you get on a portal tour or pay attention to when Merkguard is up, you kind of can't go wrong. So when the portal is down, you can actually just kind of run over to this area, do some parkour across the roofs, and then there's just no enemies over here. So you can actually run over and grab some Mythril. There's a couple of enemies down there, but with the 700 gear score and just like slowly upgrading your items, they're not much of a threat. So there's 7 Mythril veins in this area, but as you can see, kind of camped out. What I do is I just kind of stay in this area because there's a bigger loop you can do. There's some Mythril over there. There's some other Mythril scattered about. Again, you can actually do this pretty safely solo. We've got some extra Mythril down there. I don't know how you get to the ones over there where like some of the other ones are, so I don't know the Mythril farming route here. But I've seen some people just kind of run off and keep coming back and checking on this area from time to time. And currently, Mythril's still selling for about 5 each, a little more. I just dumped my 23 I got. And now here's the surprise. I thought Orichalcum was gonna crash. It did for a bit, and then it's had a rebound to like a consistent 20 coin. Well, there's a way of getting a lot of Orichalcum really easily that maybe players are overlooking. Extraction. Don't use the purple scraps you get from salvaging on experience. Use them to make Orichalcum or whatever is most expensive on your server. You get 3 to 4 each, so that's 60 to 80 gold, and I made a few thousand just by salvaging everything I had and then using the scraps that were just lying around to make Orichalcum. The weird thing is, I have a 20% chance for an additional extract. Now, I don't know if that comes with, like, the 200 mastery, because Arcana is the only one I have 200 of, so also pay attention to that. And if you have excess Azoth, and you're always going over the Azoth cap and losing Azoth, yeah, these scraps are just super free now, because everyone is deconstructing their legendary gear, so you can also just kind of craft this. It's not as much money, but it's pretty nice, where it's like, alright, cool. I got 2 to 3 because of the additional chance to craft on the Asmodeum, and then that's an extra 60 to 90 gold. So the extraction is a little bit of that extra good money making at the end, and it seems like there's still some nice little pockets and ways of making money. Some are going to be higher competition, especially Mythril ore runs. It seems like the Darkhide can be give or take. Sometimes everyone just happens to farm it at the same time because they want a few thousand coin easy. Other times people are just leaving carcasses around for you to get more money off of. There's tons of banana trees, and the banana market seems to be holding strong because of banana bread and a few other things you can do for yourself depending on the state of the server. But multiple 10k plus an hour money making methods still remain. So if you're a solo player or you need that first 20 to 30,000 coin to really get into making like armor and weapons that you can sell for profit, or getting to the 250 weaponsmithing and armor smithing, this is going to be a good way of getting resources. That way you can get your trade skills up and still holding strong on a couple of these. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.